Okay.
Nick, I guess just. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess just kind of starting off. Everybody told everybody's available for practice today, except for Terry, of course. Is there any more progression, I guess, for Paul or Trenton or any of those guys?
I mean, they're out there doing some stuff, right? Um, Again, we got a pretty heavy schedule here coming on, so it wasn't a heavy practice, but they were involved in all of it. And I'm just kind of waiting for some cues of when they'll be ready to go. But they were out there, yep.
How do you marry? How do you put together, Joel's style of play, his style of offense, what looks to be like a wide open style of offense, and your guards out in space. How do you kind of balance that and put that together?
Well, I think I think it's one of the challenges or thoughts that we've all talked about a little bit, you know, prior to the season. And I think there's certainly some work to be done for us on it. I'm just trying to encourage the the speedy guys to be speedy either way. I mean, I think there's a chance to push, but we don't have to rush. And if we've pushed ahead and we have some opportunities, we should take them, and then we'll settle in. I think that's probably my ideal version, right? If we can get to that. Um, and I think it's a work in progress. I think there is some. Uh, Man, I give Joe some credit. He's like kind of figuring the stuff we're doing out and where he fits into it, instead of just saying this is all we can do. And again, my biggest thing is I want the variety with him and someone. I want him and Tyrese, of course. We know that. I want him and VJ. I want him and Q. I want him and Kelly. I want him and Paul. I want some variety, and that's probably where I'm at right now with it. Yeah.
You closed the game in Boston with Barlow, moved up to the 5. I know you primarily focused on him in the 4, but what did you think of his minutes there? Obviously, he closed the game well, and do you think he's an option there moving forward?
I mean, I guess he is. I guess he is. I mean, I think we got into a situation. Joe's minutes were used up. Um, we had a minute restriction on him, and we took it right to where it was supposed to be. Um, they were relatively small. I mean, we end up with Walker and Barlow for a good stretch. And then I just wanted to give a look of us matching them small and just what it would look like, and that ended up Barlow. And I guess it worked out and worked out pretty good, considering I think that my organization things I always talk about. Kelly hasn't spent much time at the 4, right? And I know, again, like, I hate to say it, but there was one out of bounds play where nobody had any idea what they were doing because we had such a lineup in there. But thank God Tyrese threw it up to VJ, who just went up and caught it, right? So I guess it could happen some. I think Walker, Barlow, any of those guys could play some 5 at times, I guess, yeah.
So was Joel definitively not available for,
Yep.
for the end of that game?
That was right to his minutes restriction, yeah.
Okay.
You know how you anticipate it being right at 20?
Nope, I don't. I'm until I hear differently, I'm gonna assume it's that, but it could slide at any time.
So what are the challenges with fitting Joel to a 20-minute cap? Wanting him to be out there for the more important parts of the game.
Well, I think I mean the I don't want to. There wasn't much of a challenge. We knew going in what it was. It was very similar to what it was in the preseason game, and we had a plan of what we were going to do with it, and it pretty much stuck to that plan. Wasn't a whole variation. So we kind of knew we were going to be when we'd have him, when we wouldn't, and we had a pretty good idea of what we were going to do with the other guys. Now that moved. I mean, I always, I don't know if I've ever, like, when I preconceive what the rotations, I don't know if they ever turn out that way. You know what I mean? There's always some adjustment to it. So we did adjust. Barlow, Walker, threw Drum in there for a bit. Like we were looking around a little bit there for a minute, but that's just kind of the way it is.
I mean, even having like Friday's preseason game, the time in between, and then a regular season game, and I guess even 2 days after, like, are these like helpful data points for you and the training staff, and just to continue to work through what is possible and feasible and how to approach things?
Yeah, I think that I did like the preseason schedule, the way it gave us a game and then gave us kind of a long time to talk about that game and then another game until our game. And this is nice to have 2 days. I mean, you don't get this that often. That's going to end pretty quick, right? 2 days in between games. But yeah, I think it was a intense game, high speed, heavy minutes for a couple guys. I think the extra day to get them recharged is always helpful. Same with the coaches. We get a chance to look at it a little more thoroughly, really put together a good teaching edit today. When you get extra time, I think you get a chance to go through it and keep, throw, rearrange a little bit better, whatever. So yeah, it's good.
I mean, even in regards to Joel's health too, because we've always talked
Yeah.
about how he responds and sort of that in between time is like as important as the games.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's good too. I think we're still learning all that stuff as well. And again, I think can't say it enough. I was glad to have him out there. I was glad in his prep. He really worked hard to get to that point and continues to do that. And let's just keep it moving in a positive direction.
Nick, when it became clear you guys were going to have this guard-heavy group to the extent that you do, were there any particular teams that you looked at outwardly as like these guys play this, 3-guard? Even you mentioned 4-guard at media day.
Yeah.
Play these multi-guard lineups really well that you wanted to borrow from. Just think about how you're subbing the team.
I mean, listen, I think that both the teams that made the finals last year were pretty guard/wing heavy and played a lot of them and interchangeable parts and things like that. But I don't, I mean, I watched their games. I didn't do any deep dives on them or anything like that. I think we were, as a staff, we did a lot of deep diving on thinking of what we wanted it to look like, and I think we're in the early stages of it for us. But I think we're making some progress. Yeah.
Last year,
Last couple questions.
Gershon is a really good connective piece. I'm sure you're hopeful Trenton will be the same, but do you view Dominic Barlow a little bit in that regard too? He had the 5 assists the other night.
Yeah, I mean, I think, in the ideal world, you want guys that can do multiple things, right? And I think that he's done one thing really well, which is play really hard. 1A would be crashing the glass, but he's also knows what he's doing out there. Right? He knows what he's doing. He makes the right reads. He can take it off the bounce a bit. I mean, I think that's something that should grow into his game. I mean, I do believe that he's gonna shoot the ball at some point, right? I don't know when that's gonna be, but it's been several months where the staff has and him I said to him, man, I want to work with you on your shot one day this summer. And he goes, I'll be there tomorrow, man. I'll be there any day you want me to be there, right? So he's put in the time, and I think that he'll get some of those rewards at some point as well.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.